How many of you have thought about eating edible seaweed at home? Now in the Philippines that's quite common, it's very easy to get. I'm going to show you how to cook today Ensaladang Lato, which translates directly into basically lato salad. Now lato is a type of edible seaweed found here in the Philippines, and it's known for having these little kind of balls on it, right? And these kind of pop and contain, you know, sort of a salty liquid. It literally tastes like eating the ocean, if that makes sense, right? If you would actually like bite the seawater, that's what that tastes like. So this is one of the most common edible seaweeds found here in the Philippines. And then dito naman, ito yung guso. It's a different type, it's a more woody type of seaweed. A little bit tougher and crunchier. The taste is quite similar. I think I actually like the lato slightly more. This is almost more concentrated, like maybe a bit more salty than the lato, but when you mix them together, you actually get a really nice balance between the softer and these kind of pop in your mouth, and then the sort of more woody, crunchy stems of the guso. So I like to use both of those. But honestly, whatever edible seaweed you have in your local area, that's what you should use, right? So today I'm going to show you all at home how to cook Ensaladang Lato. Now this recipe is easy, it's quick, and it's very, very healthy Filipino cooking. So the first thing I'm going to do in showing you how to cook this ensaladang latong or seaweed salad is to grab my my fresh seaweed. So I explained I've got my lato here. Now these pieces are a little bit too big, I think, to put in the salad, right? You don't want to get a whole one of those at a time. So I'm just gonna, you know, drop these on my chopping board. And here's my guso, same thing, a little bit too big at the moment. So I'm just gonna put it here and hit it with a big knife, a couple of cuts. Not too many, because it's actually nice having these big pieces. We can just cut them down to a size that, you know, if you get a piece, it's all gonna fit in your mouth. That's perfect. So I'm gonna drop this straight into my salad bowl over here. And then next I've got some red onions here. And with a salad, I always prefer to use red onions. White onions I find are just too potent to eat raw. The red onions also just impart a really lovely color to the salad. So instead of just breaking these up, I cut them deliberately into wedges like this, uniform sized wedges. And you cut the ends off the onions so that you can just kind of break them up pretty easily into these thin little slices. So that's perfect, I'm gonna add that in now. Next I've got some tomato here. So we've had the seeds removed from this just so we don't get, you know, too much liquid in the salad and the seeds making everything wet. And next, and what's going to give this a really interesting taste, is to contrast that taste of the ocean. We've got some manggang hilaw. And you see that involuntary, my eye kind of contracts from the sourness. So with that green mango, I just want to get a little bit thinner than how I had it cut there, because we don't want this to overpower. So if you get the piece of it and it's too big, it's going to overpower the lato and the guso edible seaweed that you're having. So I've just sliced them one more time to make it a little bit thinner, and you only want to put in probably about a quarter of a green mango. I think that would be more than enough. Again, with that intense sour flavor, you just don't want to overpower the rest of the ingredients. We're going to add in our salt next. So I got some fish sauce here, about a tablespoon of fish sauce. And then we've got here some calamansi juice. You could also try spiced vinegar for a slightly more intense sourness, but I think with the mango in there, this will probably be sufficient. So there's about maybe 1 to 2 tablespoons of calamansi. Okay, so then I just want to season this with some salt and pepper. I'd probably put about a decent sized pinch, probably half a teaspoon of salt, and, you know, about the same of the pepper, maybe about half a teaspoon of that. So the last thing to do is just to toss your salad through. As with tossing any kind of salad, lift from the bottom, bring it up, change your angle of attack, lift from the bottom, bring it up, and you get this really nice, wow, look at those colors, maganda. Okay, there, that's super vibrant. I think, you know, you could have definitely cooked this yourself at home in the time it took to watch this video. It's that fast, everything's fresh, no oil, no fats whatsoever. If you do come to the Philippines, say you struggle to find seaweed where you live, this is a must order if you're out in the islands, in the Philippines especially. There's nothing better in this country than being out on a tropical island with a fresh caught piece of fish that's just been grilled, a salad like this, and of course, in my case, a fresh buko. This is what it's about in the Philippines. Food like this paired together. This is all indigenous flavors. Everything's fresh, everything's local. If you come to the Philippines as a tourist, definitely try out this combination. You're gonna love it. I'll talk just a little bit about pairing it with a salty egg, because, you know, I think what grows together goes together. It's a very common saying in the culinary arts. So, you know, lato salad with fish makes sense, but If you are in an urban environment like here in Metro Manila, it can actually be quick and easy to prepare this and just have it with a piece of salted egg as your protein. So I'll crack one of these open. All right, so there's our salted egg. In the Philippines, salted eggs are this sort of red color. In Indonesia, they're actually a light blue color, so make sure you know what country you're in so you don't get confused. If you don't believe me, go look up like Shutterstock or something and type in salted egg and you'll be like, what? They're light blue, because they're all the Indonesian pictures, not the Filipino ones. So this is the color of salted egg in Philippines. It's always been a dark red. And if anybody knows why Indonesian salted eggs are light pale blue and Filipino salted eggs are like a dark purpley red, please leave a comment. I think it's a fascinating historical quirk why that happens to be different between those two countries, because they're otherwise an identical product. And I'm going to try out a little bit of this with the Lato salad and tell you how that works. So here we go. I'm going to try and get a little bit of everything. So I got some Lato there. Here's my piece of mango. Okay, so here we go with the Lato salad. You get this really intense and honestly quite sour flavor up front because, you know, this is really quite dominated by the calamansi or vinegar if you're using that, and the green mango. And then the ocean flavor comes in and it's actually quite sharp, and the egg is also salty, but it's a lot more of a creamy, salty finish. The dish feels very, very like light and biting on your mouth from that acidity, and then when that egg comes through, it's just putting protein, creaminess on your palate in addition to a bit more salt. And you get that perfect balance between the salty and the sour, but then also a rounded texture and a little bit smoother. So with that crunch of the guso in particular, you have the popping Lato squirting ocean water in your mouth, and then you have the egg, which is kind of, you know, creaminess. It's this really interesting texture. And I think this is why Filipinos really enjoy having salted egg with Ensaladang Lato when pairing it at home. So super delicious. Try this out. Leave a comment below. I'd love to hear from you guys, and I read all of your comments that you leave, by the way. So tell me what you want me to cook next, or what interests you, or what you don't like about the show. And remember to share this episode with ating mga kababayan sa buong mundo. You'll be helping me take Filipino food global. I'm Chris Urbano. I'll see you guys next time. Bye.